Is that you? Oh, welcome. It's been some time since you've stopped by or since we've been open for visitors here at the co-host Takeover. I am your proprietor, Tim, and my co-proprietor is...
No names. I like this one,
I do like going with the more...
especially for Baldur's Gate.
Oh, especially for Baldur's Gate. Already in with the Sage with the bare necessities. Thank you, thank you. Um, But yeah, it's been, gosh, creeping up on almost 3 weeks or a month or so since our last one. But it's good to be
It,
back.
that's wild.
How
Does
time
not.
flies.
Yeah. Seriously. But anyway, it is great to be back.
I'm certainly enjoying. I did a little bit of theory crafting. I love theory crafting for these sorts of fucking games, and so I'm gonna do a Bardadin, a Paladin Bard. We're gonna see
Bardin.
how well that works out because bards have the sword college, good with swords, and controversial day in the
Yeah.
games industry. Ooh, Sage, spill that hot tea all over us. We've got burn resistant. We've worked in kitchens.
It's true.
Shit, we worked in a coffee shop. That does earn us some burn resistance to hot liquids. Oh, bitchin', we're gonna have Sage for
Oh,
voice
oh,
chat.
If not over, then through. No traps, please.
hey, hey.
Okay.
Huzzah!
Hello there.
Verily, we
So,
welcome forth the one known as Sage. Ooh.
oh, before me, no. Have you either of you two heard? You haven't heard anything today, game news wise?
I have not. What's popping off in the
So, you know how Microsoft has been on an acquisition spree over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Not only on the acquisition spree, but also, every single interview, kind of over and over and over again, making this big point about how, we're going to try harder to get into the Japanese market. We're going to try harder to get some Japanese studios under our brand. We're going to try harder to connect with Japanese audiences. Well, today they decided to shut down several studios, including their only Japanese studio, which
Oh
also
god.
made probably the best Xbox branded game to come out last year. And well, according to, I mean, I'll read the quote even. Uh, but when Hi-Fi Rush launched last year, or at least after a little bit after launch, Aaron Greenberg, one of their brand managers, put out the message that Hi-Fi Rush was a breakout hit in all key measurements and expectations. We could not be happier with what the team at Tango Gameworks delivered with this surprise release.
huh? And it still didn't manage to wow.
No, they shut the whole studio down. And keep in
Jeez.
mind, Tango Gameworks was founded by Shinji Mikami, the creator of Resident Evil, right? He left after Resident Evil 4 and then he founded the studio. They did the two Evil Within games, Ghostwire Tokyo, and then Hi-Fi Rush, which supposedly they were very happy with the sales of. Supposedly. and it's the only Japanese studio they had, and they've been going on and on and on and on about this, about how they want to break out into this market, find a way to connect with that audience, and they shut that down, and then they also shut down maybe a more understandable studio to shut down, to a degree, is Arcane Austin, which put out Redfall, which it was kind of a big disaster. Um, but they'd also done Prey before that, which was a very popular game. So
Yeah.
one bad game or one kind of mistake, and a studio gets shut down. Meanwhile, 343, because it's got the Halo brand, they put out three very disappointing in terms of critical review scores and sales numbers. Three disappointing projects in a row, but that studio's continuing to go.
Right.
It's a very frustrating day to be paying attention to Xbox and Microsoft.
Yeah. Company's gonna company, or
Are we ready to Shadowlands?
yeah, hell yeah. I forgot. That's what we're doing.
Sorry, Shadow Curse Lands.
Companies are going to do capitalism and give whatever a quick payout with no
They
thought
are, absolutely.
to
They are, but
long-term
here's the thing.
goals.
I can look at Sony and say, look at that giant, shitty, greedy corporation, and
Yeah,
the
no,
successful
100%.
games that come out, like those are the studios that get supported and stick around. Like even though it's a big, Sony's just as much of a shitty corporation. They lay people off and make all
Yeah,
sorts of, you know, money first decisions. But when a game comes out and it does sell well, they respond accordingly. That's what's so confusing
yeah,
about this
that's
Microsoft
true.
is
Can you feel
it's
that?
this game Hi-Fi Rush
The dark, it's
supposedly where they were
hungry.
super happy with it. It
Right.
Give
led
fresh
like the
shadows.
entire year last year for them as a brand.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely
Are you the true soul?
foolish.
it's an extra layer of
Mhm.
weird decision making that it
I'll
just
take that
doesn't make
as
a lot of
yes.
sense. And
Listen,
again with the whole we
grab a
want to break
torch,
into the
stare out the
Japanese
dark,
market.
and
Let's get
move
Japanese
fast.
Right.
studios.
Shadows have eyes.
Let's work on
The
this. And then
dawn.
it's like you have one Japanese studio that you
Yeah.
inherited from purchasing Bethesda, and it's a studio that's done pretty well for the most part financially.
Right.
Maybe Ghost of Tokyo wasn't as big of a hit, but the Evil Within games were. Those sold very well for horror games. And Hi-Fi Rush, again, supposedly did really well for them. And then it gets treated like that. Like,
Oops. Astarian, come with me, please.
it's just bizarre because I know for a fact that if Hi-Fi Rush was published under Sony, that studio would not have been shut down. It,
Yeah.
maybe there'd have been layoffs because Sony's still a greedy corporation,
No
but
one's in
Right.
my mind.
I don't think they would have shut the whole studio down.
Kenneth,
Sure. Yeah, that sounds right.
I don't know. What I honestly, and it makes me even more irritated with the Fallout show, because what I see with all of what happened today is Microsoft and Bethesda have been saying, well, we
Studio
want to
ground
find a
floor
way to
5.
get the next Fallout
Never
game out
wanted to lose you
faster
both.
because, as of right now,
Oh
it's like you put
yeah.
a game out
No, that's
every 8
exactly what I'm thinking is that I'm like immediately thinking what projects are they getting put on?
From the Druid's
Yep.
Cove.
They're getting rid of these studios, laying people off, and then whoever they're keeping on, they're just adding to probably to Bethesda Softworks so that they can pump that Fallout game faster because the show was successful. And I already have given plenty of my thoughts on the show and how I feel
Wait,
about that. So
they're
Yeah.
it just makes that
allocating
even more
resources to
frustrating.
Fallout?
Probably. Not
I think so.
confirmed, but
I mean,
yeah,
what
it seems
other
likely to
reason would
me.
you shut a successful studio down?
Sounds about right.
Still breathing. Despite
Uh,
everything.
yeah, yeah. And Sony was making big headlines, big negative headlines with the last like week or so. And it was almost like Microsoft was like, bad press. We can't let it have Sony have too much of that.
Yeah, all they
Which
had to
I
do was
guess,
not be a bad fucking company for like just a
Hey,
few
boy.
weeks.
You want the bone? Fetch!
What's up over here?
Ah!
eh,
Hell's
and
I near
since
stabbed
I'm
myself.
since I'm talking about it anyway,
Just
are
seeing if
either
this
of you
shadow
aware of
curse is as bad as they
the
say.
controversy that Sony had been going
Good
through
is.
this last
No.
week?
If anyone gets too deep
I don't
into
think
the
so.
dark,
So,
I'll take it you're
so
the true
Helldivers
soul we're waiting on.
Oh, yes.
breakaway
Needs
success, right?
passage to move
I did
us.
hear about this.
Tim, did you hear about this?
I
No
did not
worry,
hear about
boss, you're in
this.
good hands.
Okay,
We've
so
got
Helldivers
pride.
breakaway success, right? Like
Talk to
easily,
Cass
this
if
is
you're
going to be up for
inside.
Game of the Year
He'll
at the
run
end of this
through.
year, for sure. It's been a huge hit. I've even been playing it. Like you guys know that I do not play multiplayer games
Wait,
like almost ever. I've
you're
even been
joking,
playing
yeah?
this one, and
We're ready to
Sony
go.
decided after,
You just need to tell
well,
Cass if inside.
okay, this was on the Steam page since
So
the
you want
launch
me
of the
to?
game. And due to
I mean, I'll
technical
just,
issues, it was pushed out into the future.
I'll just go and.
But Sony, just this last week, decided to reactivate this element of the game
No, no.
that if you're playing the game on PC, you need to create a PlayStation Network account to be able
Oh,
to continue playing. Now, it was supposed to launch with this originally, and they couldn't there for whatever reason, due to technical
yeah.
issues, they had to push that off. And so people were able to purchase Helldivers 2 on Steam and play it entirely just using their Steam account, to playing crossplay with people on the PlayStation 5 or on the PlayStation system.
True soul.
Yeah.
Now,
An honor. Did you bring the liar?
it may seem, you could say, hey, well, is it that hard to make a PlayStation account? Not really. It just takes a moment to sign up real quick. It's free to have one.
Forgive me, true soul.
But
But what we want is to
here's
get
the
to
thing.
Moonrise. We were told to expect
It's
a true
already
soul. That
a
night
issue
warden Minthara
with
would
PlayStation
send
or
someone
with
a liar
PC
to
players
summon a guide through the
that you
darkness.
how many accounts do you have to
If the
sign up
night
for
warden did not
to
send
play
you,
games on different
who did?
Right.
engines, on different
What are
like
you
you have to
doing
sign up
here?
for what on you have to have your Steam account. Some games are exclusive to the
Epic
Epic Games
Store.
launchers.
Uh,
EA's tried to have their own launcher.
Larian's got a
Microsoft
launcher.
Store has the
Microsoft Store.
game or yeah, Xbox Store stuff.
Ah,
So
do then pluck a chin, and our
so
guide
you
will
you
come
take all of that.
scuttling.
You go, all right, now you need to sign up for another account. Annoying, sure. End of the world? No. But then here's where it gets to be a real shitty thing for them to do. Steam is available in a lot of countries that PlayStation is not available in.
Oh my god.
Now you could theoretically create an account in regions where PlayStation does not have official support.
Right.
However, it is against Sony's terms and service. It violates their terms and
Right.
service to use a fake address when creating your account. The only way to create a PlayStation Network account in one of these places that Helldivers 2 was sold for full retail price
Well,
to
that's what I
people
call an
who then
outlaw.
are going to lose access to
In the
it
Absolute's name,
because they can't create a PlayStation account without breaking PlayStation's terms and services, which will get their account banned for creating it in the first place. And
Right.
Helldivers 2 was sold to people in these places,
perhaps you'll listen to a true soul.
like knowing full well that this would be a possibility that this would come up at some point.
Right.
Now, Sony did backtrack after the backlash. Sony did change it and say, okay, we're not going to do this. All right, we're just gonna let this go. We're sorry, we're not going to go forward with this. That's a better response than you're going to get with Microsoft after these studio closures.
Yeah, that's better than I'd expect from anyone. Who is this Strider here?
This is Karnus, summoned forth by the spider lyre, dropped when we defeated Minthara.
Oh Yeah.
Good thing neither Alex or Ulysses is here right now. They'd be going
Yeah.
all in on these spider shit.
But yeah,
Are
let's
you
get that
more
shit.
faithful of the absolute? They need a guide to the dark, same as us.
Your minds connect, and you hear a whispered voice.
I was
That's
I
what
was
they do.
expecting the
Just
spider
echoes of
emoji.
his fractured mind reverberating in the dark.
Wait,
Okay.
so that's the second thing, right?
A true soul.
There was something else we were referencing that I thought of that they would have said.
That Alex and Ulysses would have said.
Yeah.
Yes.
It might have been something. It might have also been something about a spider.
I mean, yeah, they really, really go in on the spider thing lately. Did you guys know that apparently there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of like what is supposed to be like sexy spider woman has you trapped in her lair ASMR to masturbate to videos on YouTube?
Protects us, graces us.
See, you knowing
Huh.
this
It
does
doesn't.
not help your
Alex.
case.
No.
I only know this because Alex decided to search for it and then play it for me during a stream. All right, I am innocent here.
No. Gave it to us. They wish to walk through the darkness.
And he made me listen to some of it too, and it is cringy. It is hard. It is hard to listen to.
Bad.
It's bad. It's bad.
Now, are
It's
we
like
ready
it's
to
like it's
depart?
just it's audio porn. It's just basically what it is.
Right.
Things best avoided. Now, will they follow or stay?
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't really get the whole ASMR thing in general, to be
It
honest.
doesn't do it for me. I
No.
know people who are like, yeah, it feels like the head massager thing, right? But like for your brain, and I've heard that explanation so many
Oh.
times, and I have no idea what it really means. Why
I think
did
it's
we
like,
tell that guy to die?
Oh, he was gonna
What
make the
happened?
hyena jump into the brush and get devoured by the shadows,
Oh,
and so I made him do it
so
instead.
he did it instead. Oh, because that's where he threw the bone. I see. Yeah, fuck that guy.
He was like, "Here, go boy, go fetch," and I was like, "Fuck that guy."
You go fetch.
Well, yeah. I'm done ranting about.
No, but
video game
that's
exposures.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
but
that's
it
this
was really
channel's
irritating.
core thesis is fuck the video game industry for milling
Dirty
through
toilet
so
seat.
many talented individuals like they're nothing
What is
more
going
than a
on?
resource.
Exactly, Tim. It's frustrating because you have
Majesty, you bless us with
I don't know you have I don't know with Xbox as a brand in a larger sense there is a frustration I feel towards them as a company that I just don't feel with PlayStation or a Nintendo. Like, not that Nintendo or PlayStation don't ever make bad decisions, but Microsoft sometimes feels closer to an EA or a Ubisoft with some of the
Yeah.
things that we do.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just, I don't know.
something's wrong.
It's
Majesty.
and I want healthy competition,
Who's there?
right? I want
Right. Because
Microsoft
Harper's
doing
hiding.
so well. Exactly. Because the only way that these companies aren't fucking
These
us
harpers
is
are
if they're
clearly
too
enemies
busy
of the
trying to
absolute.
fuck each other, right?
Right.
That is the way that's how we get nice things.
Defend the
Is that
garden
they're
and
trying to fuck
preserve
each
your
other,
cover as
and
a
so
true
they
soul.
give us more stuff. They give the audiences and the creators more tools and more games and more resources to create with because they're trying to fuck each other. And
Right.
Microsoft to me falling short of that competition, that also just creates more of a window of opportunity for Sony to also fall short, right? It creates it allows, and I think Sony did get a little big for its britches during the PlayStation 4 era. I think because Sony did have banger after banger after banger as far as exclusive, like story driven, like
Right.
big unique game. And going into the PS5 era, like I think Sony is doing a little better overall than Microsoft, but I think Sony has also fallen a little short of the last generation, just compare them to themselves even. And I think it's because they got so used to being the big dog in the room, having
Yeah.
so much financial success that, it, like, yeah, Microsoft not being on their game, it creates an opportunity for Sony to be lazy.
Right.
Bad for both of them.
This is, I think, one of the reason why people in their 60s are considered ancient in the video game industry, to the point where they're discriminated against, because there's nobody who fucking makes it to 60 in the video game industry. Like, that has milled out so many fucking people before they're able to, like, join in and, like, contribute, or that takes advantage of people that do contribute and milks them of everything that they have until they feel like if they stay in the industry, they're forfeiting a piece of their own soul. And it's really depressing that it is nice that there's some studios out there that are very committed to providing a healthy work environment for their employees, but then it is kind of frustrating that a lot of them are in places that are, say, like like Sweden is Larian.
Sure.
There's like very few American companies where you hear from people like outside of indie studios where you're just like, wow, have you heard everything coming out of that studio? God, nobody's cried in weeks there. It's like nobody's like losing their hair from the stress of it.
And even indie studios, like in the time between, you know, your passion of it and starting and the and launch, like that's a lot of time to go by for you to keep the energy up and keep the hope that it, you know, keep the anxiety at bay, I guess is what I mean.
Absolutely. I mean, the development cycle, even for a small game, is a very long time. No, you're 100% right. And then Tim, to piggyback off of what you're saying about people just not, you know, as they get older, there's so few older people in the industry because they get worn out before they get to be older. Think about the reverse of that too. How discouraging is it for younger people who might be interested in the industry or working on video games and being in that creative space? How discouraging is it for them to even want to get into it in the first place when they see the way that people are treated, the way that people that make these success, it's one thing if we're only talking about studios that are putting out poor quality content, but for financially successful studios producing financially successful games to drop the ball or to get fucked so badly from this situation, it's shameless. And like, why would you even want to get into the video game industry
And
if
that's
that's just what's going to happen? If there's such a
something
high
that
chance of
is
something like that going down.
in like, you might remember that in high school my senior project was video game design. Well, I did actually start out my software programming degree oriented towards graphic design and video game design by extension. And God, do you know like what it was like reading through, like, as I'm going through my second and third semester of courses, trying to look for potential companies to work for? It's There's fucking nothing out there where, like, you could read through the employee reviews and they're just, like, remotely happy about their job. That is one thing I did not research in high school. And it's something that I'd wish I'd have gone and looked into a bit more, because it really is kind of frustrating that the industry has been allowed to get to the point that it has gotten to, because it's discouraging new talent, it's disheartening old talent, and it's, as Sven Vinke put it, prioritizing shareholders over talent to the detriment of everyone involved in the process.
Because you know what those shareholders would get if talent was prioritized?
More money. They get more
Bigger,
money.
better games that would sell more, that would make them more money in the long run. The shareholders would get more if they weren't the focus all the time. Oh, also Ulysses is in the chat. What's up, Ulysses?
Oh, I just realized I was muted. Also the people who are like, it's like these are the people running these are like people who've clearly been doing business deals and doing capitalism, so to speak, for a long time, and they don't understand doing it, that like a better product, like doing it better is gonna be better for you financially. It
Yeah,
just doesn't
I mean,
make sense to me.
like look at the way. I mean, EA, right? Forever has notoriously it's been one of the worst, right? EA was
Yeah.
voted worst company on the planet the year of the BP oil spill. That's how much people don't like
forgot
EA.
about that. Fucking.
Yeah, this sucks so bad.
Now, when Jedi Fallen Order came and was a runaway success,
Right.
EA was like, "Oh, wow, huh? Hey, BioWare, you don't have to make Dragon Age 4 a live service game anymore.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it." Like, it took like it's mind numbing. Like, they see a game be successful and then they go, "Oh, well, I guess people will buy this." And they're like, "How is that not a lesson that's just stuck with you over all the
Right.
time?" Oh, there it is. He's going in on the spider lady.
You
He's
got
like
here just in
creatures.
time
So radiant
before
beyond
we
Of course.
limit.
put.
Capitalism stopped being about products a while ago. Now it's cronyism.
Yeah.
Twitter.
100%.
You
I'll say what's this
Oh,
other
shit.
comment he wrote.
move a god.
You
This
guys
is a
remember how Russia
cool-
started using World War II tech in
Why the
Ukraine because
hell
they're
should
running out of
cultists
modern
turn
stuff?
on his kind?
Now they're running out of that and using World War One tech.
He belongs to
Oof.
the Harpers.
That's rough. You think
Dedicated
that's how
to freedom
you know
and
you're just running out of
balance.
resources.
Longsword. Is that going to Karlak?
Yeah.
Seems pretty good.
A prisoner. Then I must be a welcome sight indeed. Follow me. I know a refuge.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm a prisoner
Who's
and they
there?
let me keep all my weapons because I promised to behave.
An inn.
Well, I don't want to
Flight,
completely
it's called.
steamroll with
Let the
your guys'
lanterns
stream.
light be your guide.
Oh no,
Is the
we
Dr.
love
Okay.
having
Should you lose the way?
well, because well,
At least 50% of the purpose of this stream is to just hang out.
I'm right. I mean that's all of the ones that we do on this channel too. So that's
I'm following this guy
To be
who has
fair, that's how
agreed to lead
American
us.
prisons work.
Exactly.
What?
The guy
Oh.
we were talking to agreed to lead us to his hideout.
Looks like there was a struggle here.
I should probably
Oh,
be
shit.
following.
Here's a bunch of tieflings.
Ulysses said, to be fair, that's how American prisons work.
Referring to what?
Very well.
What Jim was talking about, agreeing to be a prisoner.
Oh, I see.
You know, it was an interesting conversation that I was having with Ulysses, actually, not too long ago about Star Wars KOTOR. But interestingly, and obviously it didn't end up happening. But interestingly, Larian's name was thrown around quite a bit
KOTOR.
as for the KOTOR remake.
Yeah, I believe
And
that.
because it is
This
working off
place
of
is
some of the same
protected.
basic systems
You
in
might
terms of
find
its
allies
gameplay.
here, or at least
And
supplies.
I wonder, I think that KOTOR remake will probably be, it'll probably do what like the Final Fantasy VII remakes are doing, and it'll be a little more action heavy, like
Yeah.
in
Step
terms of
forward.
being
And
like a
keep your
third person
hands off my
combat
weapons.
system.
Easy.
But
He helped
part
us
of me
out in the
kind of
shadows.
wishes it would be done in a style a little bit more
Come.
like this, just because that would be so true to the original's more
Right.
hardline.
Jahira.
And like Star Wars, like narrative driven over you want space for the narrative, and so
And that KOTOR is all
in
about
the
that.
turn based, you can get to a point where it's easier and less jarring to get to a point where the villain suddenly does a monologue and fucks off or whatever.
Oh, totally.
Um, Whereas when you're like fully in combat gameplay and then it's like, oh, sudden cutscene, that throws me out of it.
Well, I am
There's,
certainly
I
not
think,
innocent,
the best
Paladin.
games that
So
I've
I'll
seen do
bind you
that
with
are
vines a
like God
moment
of War
longer,
and Bayonetta.
if you
Probably
do
would
not
be the two
mind.
examples I'd give because they always work in
This is why we're here, you see.
they work in those are the
It
games
is a
that work in
curious
quick time
creature that
events in a
hides
way
all
that
manner of
actually works,
secrets.
where like they don't overdo it
But
and
if
they
there's
use them
one
just
thing
at the
that
right
we
times.
know,
And those usually allow for a better, more seamless transition into a
it's that it
cutscene.
knows
But
its own
most of those
kind.
action games, like you're talking about, they don't do it that well.
Right.
But I would say God of War and Bayonetta are like the two I would look to as
You should
examples
never
of
have
how to
come
do it
near
the right
true
way.
soul.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
Even more so Latin American prisons. That's true.
Oh, or two.
What you doing? He's the
Well,
one
I
who
got a dog
saved
sneeze.
us.
I don't know if you guys can hear that.
The man who protected
Hey.
the Emerald Grove.
Yup. Didn't even goblins
Maybe.
standing.
Mo.
Not so bad to hang around with either. Saved two of my friends. One from a harpy and one from a mad druid with a snake. Didn't make a fuss about thieving either. I pretty much trust him with my life.
A true
Hey.
soul with a mind of his own? How is that possible?
Hey, I was
Well,
asking myself all of that Act 1, so I'm with you, Jahira.
Well, how does the Baldur's Gate go though? Let me shift focus to the game you guys are actually playing.
So while we finished Act 1, we are officially in Act 2 now.
Nice, nice, nice.
And we're handing her a Rubik's Cube. The Rubik's Cube that keeps us from being tentacle
Turning
monsters.
into-
Keep up.
Yeah.
Needless to say, she still has her ridiculous
Wait, did it
accent
just
from the
kill it?
What the hell is that
Yep.
thing?
How is it not killing ours? I guess because it's got a host.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You've earned yourself the benefit of the doubt. Hear me, Harpers.
So now,
All
this
clear.
Jahira
At ease.
has been in Baldur's Gate.
I'll
She was
pretend
like
to
one of the
understand what
playable characters
that
in Baldur's
artifact
Gate
is.
2.
But I'm
But
only
she's
just left to
an elf,
recognize a
so
sliver of
they
hope when it
she's lived
comes
this
under
last
attack.
100 years.
Tell me,
Interesting.
why have you come here?
Shoot.
How do you feel? How do you feel about Ulysses' question there, Tim?
You guys mad Jahira doesn't show any camel toe in this game? You know, she does lack camel
Excuse
toe
me?
in this one. Oh, you didn't know Baldur's Gate 2 Jahira had camel toe.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because this was like, what, 2001 when it was made? Or something, so
Wait, does she actually?
literally second optional party member in the series. Yep. Oh, she was in
She
1.
got straight up camel toe, like the visible. Because Ulysses was making a joke about all the dumb shit with Stellar
Then I
Blade, but
found
was
an
she
ally
actually
in
showing
me.
camel toe in the second game?
For that is precisely why I am here. There's food in the inn
No,
over there. Beds
I would have
where you
fucking
require
believed it.
rest. Aloe oil
Because did you
Okay, yeah.
have you seen the outfits from Baldur's Gate 2? They were that early 2000s, late 90s fantasy, like, we can have her like wear just like triangles around her nipples, and then like that'll be her armor. We'll make them out of metal.
I feel like I've seen a couple designs from 3 that are very similar too. Not nearly
It
like as
does.
freak as like all over the place, but
There is a couple characters that do definitely maintain that. It doesn't help that there's like a straight up brothel or two.
I mean, if you want to make your game sexy, make your game sexy. I don't inherently have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with Stellar Blade doing it either. What's weird about Stellar Blade is the people that go, you took the camel toe out right before the game release. I'm gonna sue Sony over the camel toe.
My mum used
Oh
to
my
tell us
God.
stories about them. The legends who protected the city from evil.
We did a whole
I only
segment
knew about
on,
it from like the art that had been done to promote the game. Because like just going back to that, it is kind of goofy. But
oh sure.
yeah, it is sprite based, so those games are old as shit.
Outer city kid.
Oh yeah. Well, those are quite a while back at this point. Tim, you're aware of all the Stellar Blade shit, right?
You're gonna have to refresh my memory on some of it, or the most pertinent.
Well, so this game is clearly trying to kind of evoke shades of Bayonetta or Nier Automata. I don't know if you're familiar with that one so much, but
I thought you'd be in the city. We were
Bayonetta and let's just stick with Bayonetta even as the example. Bayonetta, super hyper sexualized game, but it's also got a lot of personality, right? Like it's not just sexy and nothing else, right? There's a lot of genuine comedy in it. There's a lot of personality in its design. She has a lot of personality as a character. There's a reason that Bayonetta is a hypersexualized female character that's specifically popular with lesbians, right? There's a reason for that.
Oh my god.
Now, Stellar Blade
It's really happening.
has been
It's been
held up by fucking basement-dwelling incels for the last, like, 6 months. I feel like I've been hearing about this game for 5 fucking years at this point.
Yeah,
They've been holding this game up as a,
fix me.
anti-woke,
Yeah.
the video game industry has been making every female character ugly, and this is what female characters are supposed to look like, and all this stuff, right? Now, the game comes out, and all these people are thinking, like, just watch, it's gonna get all these terrible reviews, because the industry's gonna hate that it's got freedom of expression, all that stuff. The game comes out, actually gets pretty good reviews for the most part. Generally, the Metacritic is around like an 80, and for the most part, the general consensus is really good combat, cool world, good monsters, feels satisfying to play, really bland main character and story. Right? Those are the points that it gets hit against. But then now there's been a complete flip, and all these basement dwellers that were all gung-ho about this game, they hate it now. They hate that it got good reviews. And part of the reason for that is that there were ever so minor changes to a bunch of the alternate costumes in the game as it was coming out. Now, mind you, changes that the developer said, hey, we made these, we wanted to make these changes. This is the version we wanted to present to the audience. So this is what the developer wanted. This is not forced on them. And the changes are, you can't see the camel toe. That's the change. And these people are furious. Now Stellar Blade is woke. Now it is
Oh my god.
the example of the uglification of women in video games. Now it is all
Because
these
there's
things
no
Or
camels.
this thing is going to
because
burn
there's
you
no
from the
camel toe.
inside
There
out.
is a petition on
Oh
change.org
my.
with like
The minute
What?
I
80,000
set foot back in
signatures
Avernus,
with
Zarya will force me back into service.
$36,000 of
I'm
money
not doing her
donated
bidding
to it
again.
to promote this petition.
I'd rather
God
die.
damn.
I get that, but don't rule it out.
Horrible.
The world just might be better with you in it,
$36,000
even in Avernus.
over
I won't stop
over
trying
the
to figure
camel
out a
toe.
cure, but
Imagine somebody got fired over
At
that,
this point,
because that's like somebody's like
I
that's
think we all
like
have to face
2/3
the
of somebody's
inevitable.
wage.
I mean, as far as I could tell, Sony and
Right?
Shift Up the
All
studio,
is
they
doom and
haven't really
gloom.
responded to this.
I have something far
Yeah.
more exciting on my mind.
Yeah,
Thanks,
they
Dad.
claim the
Really,
censorship is
you've given me
is
more than
not
I
about
could
sex, that
ever
it's just
repay.
it's the principle of
It's been my pleasure.
censorship. But they don't
Yeah.
give any other examples.
both of you.
What they'll say, oh, Sony's been censoring games left and right, and making all these female
This is
characters.
the best
What are the
day.
examples? What are the examples?
Right.
Give me examples. Where are the? I mean, and I mean, it doesn't. And I guess that they maybe if they
I'm
did
so
give
happy for
examples,
me too.
they'd give these examples of like
Just
Mary
need to
Jane in
find
the last
someone to
Spider-Man
cuddle up
game,
to
which
tonight,
people
and
were
I'll be the
railing
happiest
against the
woman
way
on
she
the
looked,
Silk
even though
Coast.
she looked exactly like she did in the first game, just maybe
Right.
slightly older, which
Listen, I'm never
they
going
of course
back.
seem to have a
If you
problem
said
with.
I
But
could die right now,
then
in a
like
thousand
Ulysses
years in
made
the
the great
hells,
point that like
I'd
there
choose to go
are
out now
games
with
like
my
really
freedom
small
intact.
independent games in from other countries like
I
Russian
don't expect
like
anyone to
RTS
understand that.
simulator games that
But
do
Yeah.
being
get
dealt a
censored
hand,
and
most
do
people
not get
don't have to
released in the
contemplate
States
paying.
simply because they came from Russia, right? Total like jingoist reasoning for not allowing those games to be sold here.
You heard
And these
that.
guys aren't talking
Yeah.
about
There
that.
is no solution. It's hell or bust.
They're not
I
bringing up
choose
any
bust.
examples like that.
But
The only
Yeah.
thing
I don't
is
want to
this
talk about
camel
this
toe.
now.
Yeah, these guys could
Been
demand
given a
that
huge
Chinese
gift.
game. It was
I can
called
touch the people I love for
Devotion.
the
It was by
first
Red
time in
Candle.
a decade.
They accidentally left a Winnie the
And for
Pooh
the
reference
first
in the
time in a
game, and then
decade,
the
there are people I
CCP
care
basically was like,
about
"This game is now
all
banned
around me.
worldwide. You're not going to be allowed to sell this
Thanks,
anywhere."
soldier.
These
For
guys could be
sure.
using that as
I
an
just want to
example of
celebrate this.
censorship, but they're not. But no, it's just the camel toe. It's just the camel toe.
Yeah.
I'm
I
going to
swear to
throw
God,
one
if there is,
makeshift
I want
heartless fire.
the only thing that I hope comes of this is I want there to be
if you find
official
any
legal
interesting
documentation
materials
of
in
a
need of
lawsuit
working,
titled "The
I
People's Camel Toe v. Sony
hesitated to mention
Entertainment,"
this back when
Yeah. Right.
Elturel was dragged into
because that would be the
Avernus,
greatest
when I
like
was drafted
self-parody of
into a devil's
reality that
smithy.
there could be.
It should have been awful.
Oh, let me go back up to Ulysses' other chats here.
A wild
Uh,
horse, powerful.
well,
That's
they
like
are
a
90s
straight up
games.
South Park
He'll kill you
episode.
if you lack technique.
It sounds like a South
I could
Park
sense
episode.
some.
And then in reference to the first two Baldur's Gates,
Somewhere
Ulysses
in the
said
area.
they are 90s games, so the
Underground,
promo
maybe.
material super raunchy.
Out there in the shadows.
And then
If
he
you
also
find
asked, ever
it,
look at the original
bring it to
manual
me.
for Diablo
I'll
2?
make something
Cleavage
incredible.
ahoy.
I
Oh my
didn't
God.
know about the incest mod for Baldur's Gate 2, but unfortunately, or
That's wild
fortunately,
stuff.
depending on your
Well,
views,
don't
you
keep
don't
it to
need
hand.
one for Baldur's Gate 3. There is
But-
the opportunity to engage in a like incestuous threesome with
Oh,
twins.
that's right. I did hear about that.
Is there a series? That's just in the games.
Yep, that's you go to a
they're
brothel,
Twins, I think.
and your companions
You
I can't
specifically
seem to,
call
but
it
I'm
out as
taking my
fucked
glass
up.
off and holding by the bridge of my
You might
nose
draw
right
the
now.
wrong kind of attention.
Oh yeah, if you
Yes.
do it like your companions will like mock you for it. You'll like get disapproval from some of them. Like if you're in a relationship
Everyone's
with
like,
certain ones, it
"Ooh,
ends the
but-"
relationship.
I mean, like, I'm glad you get shamed for it, but why make it an option in the first place? Okay.
The fuck with
In
me.
a game that lets
maybe
you
to
murder an
directly fuck-
orphanage full of children,
Yeah.
I
And
think
to fuck with the
there's-
people who choose that option, and that everyone's like, no, but
In Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, one major character is your half sister, so someone added a romance option for her. Jesus Christ.
oh my god.
no.
What is this? Mods from Alabama? What are we doing here? What's going on?
For discussion.
Well, somebody did mod assault rifles into Baldur's Gate 3, and I know that had to be from someplace in America.
That is far less egregious than it
Oh
modding and
no, no,
incest.
no. Modding and
It's
incest
perfect.
is definitely
Ready?
one of the
Just a
kingmakers
moment,
of
I'll be able to
like,
work
what the
this one
fuck are you
quickly.
doing with your free time, bud?
Like
Because somebody had
someone
to
had to
spend a
spend
few
their
hours
free
in that.
time. Oh my god.
Wait, what is this? What's going on?
So remember like the infernal
There
masks
you
and
are.
stuff we were finding around the
Be
Grimforge?
careful who you show that
Uh-huh.
to. It might.
So he's crafting us armor and stuff out of it.
Need anything?
Oh, cool.
And leftover infernal iron because we got way more than we needed for Karlach.
I knew I smelled something.
Yeah, can he just like
But I know
keep
just
making
what to
those
do with it.
pieces and then she can stay?
One moment.
You would think he said her engine is too hot to exist on the material
Right.
plane and that she has to go back to hell.
Yeah, it's like no matter how much you're gonna add.
Helldust gloves. Okay. What else you
Need
got,
anything?
bud?
Have
Using something that's already fabricated. is
Gale
tough,
absorb some of the
but I
power
can
of
try.
it.
How many do you have? I thought I sniffed American. American masks are brittle. There. Be careful.
Ooh. He gave us pipe bombs.
And you are encumbered.
Yeah, I'm with Ulysses. I would play the gun mod. I would
Oh
genuinely do
yeah,
that.
I saw it because somebody was doing an all evil playthrough, and it was a YouTube short of like what happens when a child asks your party for help, and your party just takes turns all telling the child to fuck off until it gets to one of them, which is just like, can I just kill this brat? And then she's like, Jesus fuck, I'll get it. And the comment section is filled with people like, why is Astarion carrying an assault rifle? Like, that was
That's
really
funny.
burying the lead.
Couldn't someone just jury rig a magic AC unit and tape it to Karlach's back?
Yeah.
You would think so, or like some sort of frost mat. Actually,
Or a
she
portal to send the energy out to the astral plane or something.
yeah, just connect her to space. Actually, connect her to a black hole. That only has good implications.
Yeah.
Knowing this game, they just mod it so that you can fuck the black hole. The black hole would go on the butthole chart and everything.
Oh yeah, I'd believe it.
Just Damon buy stuff. I desperately need to sell a bunch of my crap.
Damon buys all the stuff.
Excuse me.
Dick spaghettification. That's my new band name.
Good barter. Add wares to offer.
Dick
Holy
spaghettification.
shit.
Yeah, that's my new band.
Wow. A drow elf wielding this weapon gains an additional 1d4 damage against restrained targets. Phenomenal weapon. It's got 2 conditions, so it'll probably work never?
Strange targets only useful in kinky bedrooms.
Yes. That
Tim. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, that I was just gonna say that's beautiful. That's perfect. 10 out of 10. No notes.
I was gonna ask you. Do you have any thoughts on Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace?
You mean the Phantom fuck?
Stock up
No,
what you
that-
can.
I mean, that's
It doesn't
good a
need to
name
have
as any.
happened. That was a mistake. You can watch every single episode movie in the series except for the first one, Phantom Menace, and then you can just like you're not missing anything by it. Like you're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
Cheeky.
What's the point of that movie? Give me
Since you're
one
asking.
good reason why that movie is like something that we should be subjecting ourselves to.
Jar Jar Binks.
Racial
You're all right,
stereotypes in
You're all right,
space.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
that's-
it's not redeemable. It's absolutely garbage.
Yeah, it's not salvageable as something that I think is like you
Killing
could
him rotten fish.
and think so many people had to be part of like yes manning this because like they're like this got approved by so many people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
Well, that's the thing. It didn't really. It's George Lucas had completely unrestricted,
yeah.
complete, just like
No,
no one
that's-
could tell him no about anything on these movies. I mean, that's I make this point before, but I think that's the only reason the original trilogy is any good is because there were editors and producers and then actors like Harrison Ford that would literally go, "I'm not saying this dumb shit. I'm just gonna make up my own lines."
Yeah.
Like,
There's an interview of Mark Hamill talking about doing the same thing. Does anyone want the helmet of autonomy? Light armor proficiency and wisdom saving throws.
The helmet of autonomy. You know? Wait, what is it again?
Proficiency and wisdom saving throws.
Probably not.
Okay.
well, I had to ask because it was just May the 4th be with you or whatever,
Yeah.
and
I did rewatch
We
the
did
fourth
a-
episode, but
episode 4.
yes.
Well,
And
that one's actually good.
Yeah, that one was actually that was pretty solid.
It has its weak moments, but overall it's good.
Yeah, I think for a movie that was made in the 70s, I think it's more impressive how much they were able to accomplish just visually rather than like
Yeah.
well, anything else. But at the same time, I do think that if it's going to be held as like one of these gold standard pieces of cinema, critique is allowed. As with anything that
absolutely.
claims to be the best or that is like claimed by its people, that like
Yeah.
because I think that ultimately it has a lot of things going for it, and obviously it did at the time, otherwise it wouldn't have had the longevity it did, but god damn does it drag in some
Take care
places.
now.
Oh yeah, and it has some of that real weak dialogue that you would come to far better in the prequels.
Can't chat.
And I'll admit I was starting to doze off like towards the end of the second act, beginning of the third. It does, I think, like before, like when they're on the space station, yes, or when they're on the Death Star, it's like really kind of, I think, at its peak. But you get to later in the film, or like once they're done with the Death Star and they're having to like grapple with the, like, oh no, Obi-Wan's dead, even though he's just like already talking to Luke, just like, come on, Luke, run, take a left at Fairfax Boulevard, Luke, come on.
Don't wander far.
Use the Fairfax Boulevard.
No, Luke, that's the salad fork. You want this fork.
It's just giving him advice.
Yeah,
Makes me think
Oh,
of
Giving our
that makes me
That
think
toilet
of
paper is
Thumb
making
Wars.
children from Eldor.
Right.
Maybe not, Mom.
Use the 3-ply, Luke. Use the 3-ply.
Wait, are you Karlak?
Are you a ghost?
A lot of us were
Uh,
in Avernus.
yes.
We saw you fighting.
That's
You
kind of
were
creepy.
So good.
How weird is it that Qui-Gon Jinn invented being a ghost?
Yeah. I guess
I
so.
think it's
Is
pretty
that
neat.
canon?
I mean, you should avoid
Yeah,
fighting
oh,
with
100%.
devils if you
It's
can.
in Revenge of the
If you
Sith.
can't, it
It's
helps to have a
it's in
good
the third
right
movie.
hook. I saw you lay out a Moor demon in 2 hits.
That's very
How'd you learn
funny.
to fight like that?
And near the end, Yoda's like,
Had to.
an old
Life
friend
didn't
of
pull any
ours
punches.
has
was up
been
to me
speaking
to
to me.
learn
But
to
they bring it up
and
there.
do one
They don't get
Yeah.
super into it.
I've been tossed around a
But
lot
then
too.
they definitely
yeah,
have like since doubled down
You
on
want
the
to learn how
idea
to
in
fight
other
back too.
properties too, like in
Follow the
the
things
Obi-Wan
you've got
show
your
that they
wits
did last
about
year.
you. Clever mind.
Yeah.
Like
Your
100%,
style
they double
take you a
down
long
there and
way.
had Qui-Gon Jinn
Fight
actually
with those,
show up
and you
as
may
a
find
Force
you
ghost
never
for
need to use
Obi-Wan
your
to learn how to
fists
do
at
it from.
all. In that
Yeah, I
case,
remember that. I was just
want to buy
thinking,
a
like,
lucky
it
ring
must
I
have
found?
been, something back in the High Republic
Nice try,
hundreds
Shorty.
of years
Keep
ago.
it up though, and you'll be scamming with the great.
At
Like,
least according to
something.
Yoda.
Yeah, no, that's wild. But also, Yoda. Well, I think Yoda is
It
in
is,
some
isn't
of
it?
that High Republic shit. Towards
Hope he
You
makes
know,
it
he
if
is
you
because
mess with his wits
he's
in
like
one
800
piece.
something when he dies in
I'd like
Return
to
of the
see you
Jedi.
set up in a proper
Yeah.
home in the city.
Nasty trench run on the
Every
toilet
kid
that day.
deserves that.
God damn it.
Shut. Check it out.
That's what I
We've
call a
gone
trench run.
legitimate, and Mole put me in charge. What do you need?
I like the child like laborers they got in this game. Like the shopkeepers are children.
I'm not supposed to mention it to anyone,
A lot of child.
but I
It's
do
like Victorian
have something
England.
pretty special in stock. A key.
Well, I guess that's what happens
does it
when you
look
have a
like?
lot of
What does it
orphans,
open?
but these
What
orphans went to
treasure's
hell,
right behind its
and so
lock?
they act like
That's the
orphans that
one
went to
lucky
hell,
buyer
which
to
is
find out.
they're all little
Mole
shits.
gave it to me and said I shouldn't let it go to just
Damn it, when I
anyone checking
burned
it.
that orphanage down, this isn't what I meant.
When I sent that orphanage to hell, they weren't supposed to come back, damn it.
Maybe Jar Jar will get to be a Force ghost. But there is a hilarious Robot Chicken skit where Darth Vader's like trying to get to sleep,
Yeah.
and Jar Jar is in his room, like he's like, "Hey, Annie, look at me, Annie, I'm here, Annie," and he's like, "Jar Jar, my man, I told you not to call me that anymore." And then Vader he's like, "Let's just go over here," and he like tricks Jar Jar into going into the airlock, and he just shoots him out into space, and then immediately Jar Jar's Force ghost just appears beside his bed just as he's about to finally fall asleep again.
Premium trinkets and... What are you looking for? I'm alive, ain't I? What's
I tell you, me and Ulysses could go right for Robot Chicken. Some of the ideas that we have.
Oh yeah, I encourage it. Like, just leave right now. Just go to Robot Chicken and do not leave their building until they get one of your sketches on the air. It takes them like, what, 5 minutes to cobble those shits together?
To write it, probably. To stop motion animate it, that probably is a good
That
deal more
probably
time.
takes a little, yeah.
But some of those, some of the jokes and skits I'm sure they write them in that. I mean, I think it's probably a requirement to show up to work stoned out of your mind for that job. It's probably the only job.
That's like, Caribou had the coffee talks we were supposed to do. Their coffee talk is just passing around a bowl.
I was worried they got you too.
It's like if you show up to work sober, they're like, "You get the fuck out of here and don't you come back until you can barely read."
Stars above.
I also wonder if they,
Out in the darkness.
like,
By cultists.
if they're like doing the episodes like with the dolls while they're like if they're just riffing, if they play with the
Oh, I
dolls to
bet.
do the episode.
Was with the kids.
I hope so, at least, because that sounds like it'd be even more
Maybe
fun.
that's why they picked him.
Right.
Told him to kneel. They took his eyes first. Then his tongue. Roland of all people. Saved us. He said he stayed in the grove.
So-
Some of those like 2-second skits are the funniest ones too. Like cuts to a lizard wearing hat robes with a staff, and he, in a snowstorm, he looks at the camera and goes, "I'm just a lizard wizard in a blizzard, nothing to see here."
Shielded
He cuts to something else.
while his brother and sister
I
were
love that
the
shit.
cultists. Cal and Leo were dragged away,
That's kind of
along with the others.
off the air has some
isn't
moments like that.
Taking it so well. None of us are, to be honest.
That I've never
do you
seen.
do it?
I feel like I should
How
watch
do
it
you
then, though.
keep going?
If
It's very
it's the
fun.
one.
It's a lot of it's on YouTube.
Interesting. I'll have to check that out. I mean, I only just
Heart's
finally,
Requiem,
really last
right?
year, watched Venture
The hero
Bros.
survives a war and rebuilds her
Mm,
life
mhm.
stronger than ever.
So
I still
That's one
haven't watched that.
Especially now.
how
Tim
much
mentioned
You've
it
done
many
so
times.
much for us already.
of the
I
Act
have
1
to
characters
ask.
were you expecting to
The
see
world must
going
still be out
forward
there.
once we left them
If they're
behind
not
in Act
dead,
1?
they're in Moonrise.
I've
And God have
heard
mercy on
that
anyone in
one
that
of the
hell's
things
pit.
it does really well is continuing the threads.
Thank you. If anyone can manage it, you can.
Yeah,
Just be careful.
But
That
I'm,
is-
I'm curious to know
Alright.
who shows up again,
I
who
can't handle
doesn't.
anyone else dying.
I've thought that I figured that the brothers looking for their sister with the hag was gonna be a longer story than it was.
Yeah, and there was some coding in there that indicated it could have been at one point, but there, again, some things cut with the Upper City really cut quite a bit from the game in
Right.
terms of, like, threads that were to be followed through. There was also a werewolf companion cut early in the game, to the point where Aunt Ethel even has recorded dialogue referencing her.
Yeah.
I bet that werewolf is on the butthole
Jahira
chart
said
anyway.
we should serve drinks, but that we shouldn't serve drunks.
Jahira didn't save your
Oh, look at the child bartenders. Are all the people running this place children?
Yeah, where are you? Like some sort of Children of the Corn parody, or like what's going on here?
Cute. Maybe she'll write a ballad about me. She can leave out the part where my brother and sister were dragged away screaming while I was saving the orphans. If you hadn't filled their heads with all that self-righteous heroic crap at the Grove, none of this would
See,
have happened.
I think
Yeah,
this
you'd
is
be
kind of one of the
dead.
cool things. Like,
Lord
you
of the-
convince
Lord
him
of the
to stay
Flies
behind.
D&D edition.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies D&D. But the consequence to him saving the orphans, like you convinced him to do, was
Either one.
Dead
is
forever.
that he loses his siblings,
Or in the
which is
clock
kind of
tower
like
with the
a
others
fun
were
little
taken.
narrative thing, because like you can just be like, oh, I'm sorry, fuck your siblings,
They're my
but I chose to be a
responsibility.
paladin.
Mhm.
I wonder what things I'm going to do to maintain my oath, and then what
Whatever
things
you do,
I'm gonna do that'll just fucking break it.
Mhm.
Kill people left and right, that won't break it. Stealing gum? Sorry, you're Satan now.
You're Satan now. Oh, Astarian, here, come here.
Thought you'd be 10 yards tall the way Zevlor spoke of you. Sereth, we missed one another at the Grove, but the others told me how you helped us. A pity. You pulled them from one death trap, only for me to land them in this one. Aye, and more than half the others with him. We were ambushed, out in the cursed lands. Cultists of this absolute. Zevlor froze, begged us to surrender. But they were toying with us, making examples. And we'd had enough of taking. Those of us who cut free just kept running till we found this place. The others,
I've always been
Maybe the
impressed with
cult
how
helped them.
well the
maybe the curse.
facial capturing was.
Yeah. I was noticing that during the
Zevlor had hope. It didn't
when
save him.
Karlak
And
was
his
excited
sense will serve us
about
better, I think.
excited and happy and
Thanks.
overwhelmed
It was sweet of you to try.
at the extra shielding.
Last night's best bargains right here.
Red and orange, yellow and green.
Oh, come over here and initiate this dialogue with Mole. Or Raphael, one of the two. Just speak with animals before Raphael.
I'm talking to His Majesty.
Oh.
I say hiss!
Whiskers in a twist.
This is my territory, and you're in it.
Hey, Twiskers.
I'll allow it. I slinked, of course. Good of you to notice. For my part, I have noticed the cleric is a liar. She
I'm a
promised
cleric.
me a bit of milk. Do you see any milk, do you?
I
Not
love
why,
this cat.
disgraceful.
Well, that cleric is a
The
fucking liar
cleric
and
is a
needs to be put to
liar.
death. Where's the cleric at?
You've had enough, now go. Quickly, hiss.
It's. I can't hiss now. Okay, that was wonderful. Wait, who am I to talk to? Oh, Raphael or Maul. One moment. Poor old friend.
Ah, you. Nasty place, isn't it? My torch only just held out long enough for me to find my way here.
Barkus Root was a character I was not expecting to ever see
Right?
past the windmill, and then we saw him in the mines, and I was like, okay, he'll stay in our camp. And now he's traveling through the Shadowlands with us.
Yeah.
I decided to scout ahead and get the lay of the land. It didn't seem right to let you do all the work.
Huh?
And as it happens, I've cobbled together
Just a little
something
guy.
of an alchemist's workbench here in this inn. There's a recipe I'm trying to replicate. Something that might
It's a
help.
pipe bomb.
That is, if you're still going to help Wulbren and the others.
Well, those fucking, those deep gnomes are all about just like, hey, you ever heard of this explosive?
Right. Yeah.
A new type of smoke powder.
Yep.
Gnomes are
Fine
exploding
and
deep in
boom of
Alex's
the
ass.
original, but with an extra surprise. I call it the brilliant retort. You'll need it.
I mean, you
if you're
put
going to
all those
survive
words
this
in the
cursed
sentence,
place.
and I had to
You'll need
rearrange
it
them.
if you're going to get into Moonrise Towers.
Well, except for
Get
ass, I
gnomes
suppose.
taken
But, you know,
prisoner
that's a
there.
given.
You'll need it. If you're going to save Wulbren.
Wulbren.
It's like a gnome or something. Alex might need to extract some lotion from him.
They didn't get trapped. They were kidnapped.
Oh, okay. Here, I
Taken
would like to
against
hear
their will
both
by
of you
those
weigh in on this.
cultists.
During Gnome's
If I ever
Cannibalism
get
and
my
Politics
hands
earlier
on
today,
one of them,
Alex told me and Ulysses that he does not like lotion
with you on the
because
job,
it is
perhaps I
sticky.
won't have to find out.
Do,
do my
do
best,
either of you
according-
perceive lotion to be sticky?
Okay.
The only lotion that's I can think of that would be sticky is like the pure aloe gel.
Sure,
So-
that I can see.
Greasy is my problem
Greasy
with certain
sometimes.
ones.
Yeah.
Because there's lotions that you put on your hands, and then your hands are just fucking greasy and kind of like it gets on everything you touch, unless it's like the last thing you do before bed, which there are some lotions designed to be put on before bed. But I do know people with more tactile-oriented autism that just refuse to put on lotion because they cannot tolerate the sensation of it being applied to them. So, sticky, I don't know about, but
do.
I can at least
Some of us
understand
are counting
not
on you.
liking the sensation of it.
Yeah.
Finding
It
a
was
good-
just sticky specifically that really seemed odd to me.
Your move.
Cetaphil is the lotion I found that leaves
Yeah,
as
that's a
least
good
of
one.
I didn't even want to take
That's what I
this
use.
one.
I don't mind
Having
Aveeno
shared rules
either.
here.
Oh
I think
yeah,
it's Aveeno.
He's touched.
like Aveeno is
It's
pretty
the
good,
first
especially like their
piece
oatmeal
moved.
brand for like a especially dry
No
skin.
matter where the night goes, I'm
Mhm.
gonna lose
Chef's
it.
kiss there.
Then make the sacrifice useful.
I usually only
Guard
really
your
use it if
mixture,
I'm needing to
or
do it on
come
a
for my Cyric.
like doing it on like a tattoo or so. But
Look
still,
at
it's
me.
very effective.
For once, I saved your butt out there, didn't I? We're square now, Chief. Say, do you play lance ball by any chance? It's my first time playing.
Well, on the stream, we concluded that he must be using gnome cum as lotion, and that's why it was so sticky.
That tracks. Oh my god, the cleric one is such a little bitch one.
Yeah, it's it's like if you ever could regularly if you could regularly like interact with your god in that way as a cleric, sure, but it's more distant.
That's one thing I've always liked about tabletop D&D is that any DM worth their salt is able to kind of give those moments where it makes sense that a god would be interacting with one of their like servitors. But the game can't necessarily program all those, and it's honestly impressive that they've programmed as many interactions as they did. But clerics don't have really many dialogues with their gods. Warlocks don't have very many dialogues with their pact patrons, unless your will with your devil pact.
Brava. Lovely word.
Devil pacting.
I see I was right to make you the offer I did. You will consider it, won't you?
Oh yeah, there's one of the, I love that there's like entire just like people that are just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna sign a contract with the devil, and they're just like, hey, aren't you supposed to avoid deals with them? Yeah, but now I can cast fireball, so it's okay.
Right.
I had no
Worth it.
idea you played.
Or like demons. Devils and demons are distinctly different creatures. Devils are more lawful and contract oriented, and demons are more chaotic. But they still have to like ascribe to a certain order in their chaos. For some reason, true neutral is like the most, or like evil neutral is like the most deadly of the combinations.
Are there any angelic entities?
Yes, there's like celestials, which are kind of like they're typically pretty far removed. Sometimes they're worshipped, but they're also usually hunted by mortals for like things like their wings and their blood.
It burns hotter than wyvern whiskey.
This is serious business.
And obviously gnomes for their cum.
Gnomes for their cum, and well, people do. You saw earlier, they just straight up enslave the gnomes.
You know, Alex probably think that's a good
They're a
thing.
fragment of a contract. I'd like to know what the full contract.
We honestly
Makes
should
me
be
think of
having
a
Alex.
Community episode of the D&D episode of Community where it is like, oh my god, you guys, we have to do something about these gnomes.
I don't trust Raphael though. Yeah, I don't.
Really?
He's got a temper problem, you know?
It's something very important to your master.
Alex loves enslaved gnomes a little too much.
A letter, a warning, or a deed of ownership. I could give you
Did the historian already show him?
gory details. But of course, you'll have to do
He's
something
got
for
devil
me
sight, so
first.
I'm think he's able to
Let
like
me
read it
think
through his
Oh.
shirt or something.
and get back to you.
You'll get back to me. This is important, devil. When?
Don't worry, I'm motivated to help you. Scars often tell such wonderful
He's just pouting while in a
stories.
fucking
I
bright
think
purple
yours
blouse covered in
might be
blood.
Truly exquisite. I'll see you soon.
Honestly, the blood spatter being present in dialogue it makes for, I think, a more interesting game.
Don't be shy.
Totally.
Have a gander at the finest stock.
Notice how Mole had, oh, I thought she vanished along with them.
Nice strategy back there. If we put our heads together, I bet you and me can make
I don't know. I
a
want a little army of little
Look,
pickpockets.
Raphael's offered me a
Send those
partnership
tiefling
already,
orphans
and
through
it
the streets.
Seems like a sweeter deal than throwing my lot in with you.
No, kid. No.
Tim, are you gonna play the early access for Hades 2?
I am really tempted to. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I played Hades when it came out, like fully released, and I really loved it. I would hate to be playing this game and burn out on it before it's in its most polished
You weren't
form.
joking.
That's also fair, which probably won't be
I
until
kind of
next
believe
year
it more
for
now
sure.
than I did a minute ago.
You try to convince her that the devil's like gonna steal her soul, and he's like, wait, he is? Oh shit, maybe it'll work then.
Zevlor had belief. Didn't get him anywhere good. Besides, Raphael wasn't promising anything stupid. Protection for me and my kids, that's all. Not that it's any of your business. I'm not poking my nose into whatever trade you made with him.
Ooh.
You're good.
He said he could get me and my gang to Baldur's Gate. I reckon he can do it too. Don't care what your law says.
Can we escort
And
them?
also, when we get there, I'd be head of the Thieves Guild. I don't know, devil stuff? What matters is I can keep my kids
Devil
safe.
stuff, yeah.
Everyone else has let them down, but I won't. Zevlor couldn't save everyone. It's my job to look after those who survived. Now there's no grove, no coin, no one taking us to the city. I'm not letting my crew get eaten by shadows. Maybe I'll make a deal, maybe I won't. But it'll be my choice, not the devil's, and not yours.
Good on you, kid.
Well, hey, shit. That's like the quintessential like reason every warlock takes a pact. So
Yeah.
The worst things about getting old. Watching kids make the same exact mistakes you made. And knowing there's absolutely nothing you can say to change their mind. Then again, Mol's a hell of a lot smarter than I was at that age. Maybe she'll figure it out.
Well, keep your eye out because Hades 2 is the next game that's not
True
sexy enough,
She got
apparently.
far in the city.
oh my
Just gotta
what?
get her there safely.
They're not humans. They're like
I'm also
Saving our supplies.
I'm going to
Is anyone
send an
keeping an eye on
image
those
to the
children?
co-host chat here,
Maybe not,
and
Mom.
I want you to tell me what you think of that character design not being considered sexy.
Last night's best bargains, right here.
oh, is Aphrodite, who is not wearing any clothes but her hair and flowers, not sexy
Yeah,
because
it's not
she has
sexy.
muscular tone? Like,
Probably. It's a conspiracy to make everybody gay, Tim.
oh
Muscular
yeah,
women is a conspiracy to make everyone gay.
muscular. That's
That's
why.
seriously what some of
Oh
these
my
people are
god.
saying.
Oh my god.
Like, you know that sex scene with Abby and the rest of us too? The Alex Ulysses, we all watched that today. We're all gay now.
Shit, that quick. It's really set in. The
Man,
the
these
rapid
dudes really hate muscular
queerification.
women specifically. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on.
I am queer homosexuals.
A blushing
Where
apple begging
are
to be plucked.
you?
Raphael's angling for the girl's soul.
I figured he would have something to say, but I wasn't expecting to be right.
Who? I don't know. I have no idea where you
Oh,
are.
Will. I went back to camp real quick to grab Will because if I talk to
But as
one of these
ambitious as
people
she
with
is,
Will,
Mole's no
he's
fool.
like been looking for her
One
this
way or
whole time. I
another,
figure
she'll
he'll have
see there's no winning Raphael's
certain
game,
dialogue.
and she'll walk away. You've seen what happens when a bound soul reaches for freedom. I can't imagine what cruel penance Mole would pay if she were ever to resist that fell bastard. Sorry, but let's... Starian, how is the rat diet
What I
going?
won't do is send any more of our people into the
It may soon come to an end.
Starian, how's the rat diet going? It'll come to an end if you don't shut your fucking mouth.
Just keeps going with the bloody
It's also
song.
not a rat
Nothing
diet,
loose
it's
on
a
his
me
person.
diet.
His original
Yeah,
duty,
God.
signed by Elsa
Shows how
himself.
present Will's been this journey.
Fella must be one of the very first flaming fists.
Ulysses, I'm
Let's
also
fix
sending
something.
you the Aphrodite
Let's not give
pictures,
up
so
on
just
him
so you
yet.
can see what we're talking about.
Florence.
Yeah, Abby,
Well,
Karlak, now Aphrodite.
Gods, please, no. The Blade of Frontiers was supposed to be my secret weapon. I don't suppose you found a way into the
God, every
TARDIS?
time somebody from Will's past sees him, they're just like, oh God, Will, what the fuck happened to you? You're so ugly now. Oh, hideous.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I can see why he doesn't really want to go home.
Yeah.
What's with the fellow in the car
Phil
over there?
cleared this place, and he just appeared. We think he's staying at the inn when the curse fell, which means he's been trapped inside for a century. It beggars belief he's alive at all. Hopefully, he'll come round. Tell us something useful about getting through the shadows. Right now, he seems to have little more to him than a refrain from some song or other. Cleric of Saluna. She's got a room upstairs if you want to.
Oh, that's
meet her.
probably how the barrier's
Just
maintained.
Don't
Cleric of
interrupt her
Saluna.
while she's doing whatever it is that keeps this place shadow-free. I doubt it too. Unfortunately, I won't be here when he comes around.
The
I'm heading to
conventionally
Baldur's Gate to
attractive
seek
nude woman is no
reinforcements.
longer good enough
The
for these
council
guys.
sent
No,
a
not
carrier
at all.
pigeon with news that the city has been dealing with absolutist
Yeah,
attacks.
especially compared to
Still
like the
watches
stylized,
strong.
like, it's not
I'll
like they're
request
going
that
for
Lord
beauty as
Baldur
their
send
aspect.
some of them to aid in the fight
And like,
against
she's
Moonrise.
fucking naked.
The curse won't harm them.
I mean, it looks like
Gortash, as in
she does
Emperor
look like they're going
Gortash.
for beauty as her
Last I
aspect
knew,
here.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's Aphrodite, so it makes
Confess.
sense. But
A lot's
like,
changed
yeah,
since you left
the
Baldur's
fact that
Gate,
that
no?
is
Gortash
not
has gained
the fact that
considerable
that's not good
influence
enough.
since
At a certain point, it's just going to be like just
The Steel
liking women is
Watch
what
are the
makes you gay or
future of
something.
warfare.
I'm waiting to hear that.
Gondian automatons that can be sent into battle without risking any lives. Lord Gortash had only completed work on the prototypes before Ravengard and I left for Elturel, but even they were formidable. With the Steel Watch at our backs, we can storm the tower whatever Ketheric throws at us. I'm sure of it. I'll do my best, but there's every chance I'll fall to the curse or the cult before I reach the city. Don't count on me and assume no aid is coming. Work with Jaheira. That Harper's mind is as sharp as her blade. Follow her guidance. Farewell. We'll meet again, God's willing.
Alright, let's go see what's up with
Flame
Betty.
colour.
Oh,
That's
sorry,
your name,
Art
isn't it?
McCullough.
Art colour? I'm Fistula.
Nathaniel and me climbing up a tree.
We need you, sir. One of our own's been taken, a Grand Duke. You might know something that could help us bring him back. We found
Liking
him out in the
anything but
shadows,
anime
just
chicks with with
wandering.
Z cup of breasts
Nothing
makes you
survives
equals
up there
gay.
for long.
Yeah, I mean that's what
He made
it sounds
or
like when
where
you
he
hear these
came
people
from.
talk.
This is
Well,
not
and
a
also-
That's the
physical
standard that
ailment.
they're operating
This is
off
a
of.
spiritual
Wasn't
disease.
Aphrodite like frequently
The man's
paired up
mind
with
has been
Ares, the
gripped
god
by
of fucking
shadow
war? It makes sense that
It
she'd be
has
like a
not
little bit
broken.
more combat oriented in her abilities. Like being married to the fucking god of war.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even think they're mad that she has a weapon. I think they just think she's not hot enough.
But ask
I
any
don't
one of
like-
them how they think that she should be
Yeah,
like
what-
how she should like ask them to define what they
What's
think
wrong
beauty
with
She's
looks like.
basically naked. She's naked. She's
Maybe
straight
he
up
was a
naked.
musician.
Like, what more could you possibly get?
Do you notice the distinctive calluses on the man's hands? The kind only developed from decades of playing the lute.
I don't know. It's crazy.
No idea, I'm
These
afraid.
people are crazy.
Whoever it is must be someone important to him. He's been saying the same thing over and over ever since we found him.
Is the poem that he's saying gonna be the secret to get through?
Don't hesitate.
The power of music. I wish. Oh shit, it might be.
He spent a long time in the Shadowfell, a Sharan realm without.
Tim, did you get
color or
Alan
light.
Wake 2 yet?
Oh,
It's had a
I
terrible
did
effect
not.
on him. Without a reminder of who he is, of what he held dear,
I,
his mind will remain lost to the darkness.
Yeah, I'm starting to it's almost like Devil Man Crybaby at this point. It's more that like it's not like I've bought any other video games, but it's more like I'm slowly more and more surprised at myself that I haven't. That and Lies of P are two of my most anticipated games at some point, so I really do need to get on that.
Yeah, I haven't played
This
Lies of
was in
P
his
either.
pocket.
I do really want to
He
get that at
doesn't
some
seem to
point.
have any
That
reaction to
looks,
it now,
especially because
but
they're
he
the
held on
next
to it for
game
100
too
years
that they're
anyway.
that studio is going to do is like a Wizard of
If he
Oz,
does,
like a dark
here's his
fantasy
saying.
Oz
Interesting.
kind of thing.
I'll try that.
They gave her a porn star body too. What else can they do? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, she's literally as conventionally attractive looking as she could possibly be.
Flame
Can you
color.
speak with Dead this
That's your
dude?
name, isn't it?
He's still alive.
I know.
Oh, I sent Astarion a back item. Probably the first back item he's
What
or
the hell?
any of us have got.
Back item.
What's this Bach item? I'm unfamiliar with it.
Tim, have you watched any of X-Men '97 yet?
That
Please.
I also haven't done.
Yeah,
I finally
you
saw
start out.
episode 5 today.
That is the big that is one of the or maybe the big one to see.
Where's the
You perceive inviting hints of cedarwood.
I do
and
think that
Oh.
5th episode is where it went from a good show I was enjoying to like must-watch television.
Yeah.
Bottoms up.
Oh, look at Astarion. Like, badass.
Well,
I just
for a
drank the
century
wine
old,
Jahira
it
gave
hasn't
me.
lost a hint of flavor. Still not quite so sure about you though.
I'm
People
like
tend to use
70%
more
it
than
was
just
poison because I
flavor
failed to
when
check and then it
get
was
their
like, yep,
hands
it's
on
just
them.
wine.
I speak from experience. There's an air about you. Something alien. Answer me true and do not lie. The parasite is changing you.
What
Isn't
kind
it?
of truth potion?
I mean, you don't know. It could have had some like Molly in it or something.
Just start rolling.
You speak frivolously. I do not believe you grasp the cost of what we're dealing with.
So, gotta be an answer of like, I grasp the fucking cost. I use a
Look
humor
around
as
you.
a mechanism.
Good men, good women. Stranded here, 2 feet in the grave.
What?
If we're
What's
to
the hand
survive,
thing?
I have no choice but to trust you. Can I? Good. Because I'll cross your heart myself if you break it. I have every reason to be cautious. I've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here
Oh,
from Baldur's
she's like,
Gate.
so she's traced
The
him
cult
like
of the
drawing?
Absolute is spreading through the
Oh,
city.
she's an artist.
Quietly,
Got it.
quickly, and with unsettling deliberation. We tracked them to this ancient village, only to be faced with a man we killed and buried over a century ago. Believe me, he was well and truly dead. I locked his corpse in the Thorn Mausoleum myself.
So we were
He
like,
was a
yeah, we
Shah
want to
at
make sure
once.
this guy stays dead forever.
building
Let's
an army
lock
of
him in a
dark justiciars
mausoleum
beneath
with his
this very
family,
village.
like, tomb
Inside
and
the
stuff.
local druids,
Like with a
we
giant
met our
title
business to
over
see
it that
him
says this is
disposed,
where we
dead
buried this
and
guy.
buried. But he's returned.
Why do they never
good
bury
plan.
the body?
General Ketherick Thorn live again. We met him on the road.
In a
here,
world where people can be
commanding an
resurrected, they
army of
never
the
burn the
Absolute,
body.
intent on destroying Baldur's Gate.
They like dismember it,
Through his eye
burn all the
myself,
pieces,
only
scatter
to
the
watch him
ashes
pluck
for
it
each
out like a
art in
splinter.
different places.
Oh, 1 second.
He healed right in front of me and chased us into the shadows. Things looked hopeless, but experience has taught me that no matter how bleak
If
things
Evil
look,
Dead can do it, I mean,
Yeah.
there's always hope.
you gotta
are
think
the
ahead,
hope.
you know. So, no, have you been? Has there been any other like games you've been playing recently?
Not really. Although,
Protected by your artifact, you can
I just
infiltrate
remembered
his
something
forces
I
as
meant to.
Moonrise
I
Towers,
started to
posing
say
as a true
on
soul.
Solar Ash stream.
Find out what it is that makes him
Uh,
invincible, so we can
the
strip him of his
Jedi
advantage.
in Jedi Survivor. I keep
Once
getting
Getherick is
frustrated
without his shield, we
dying
sword.
on jumps
Together,
that a
we
Jedi
assault
could
his power and
absolutely
put a final end
100%
to his
make.
blight.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Where it's like I'm dying, doing the fall to your death animation like a foot
Without a
to
cure to your infection,
2 feet
that lifetime
above the
might become
ground.
rather limited. I promise
Oh, you know
will
what?
do
I
everything I can
definitely
to make
had
sure
that
you
issue
survive.
as well a
Any
few
cure
times in the game
starts
where
with
it just is
understanding
like,
the
yeah,
disease.
this
Whatever
isn't
magic Getherick's
this
using to
isn't a big
control
enough
these
drop to
peoples,
die from.
it must be at Moonrise. You're not our only secret weapon, Isabel.
That's one of the things
A
they need to
faithful
add in the
cleric
next
of
game is
Savona,
like
and a light in the dark. She
ground
has a moon
pound
shield around the
landing.
inn.
Like
It's the
who
only
was
reason
it?
we're
One of
still
them
alive.
jumped out of
She's
the. Was it
upstairs in her
Anakin
chambers. Tell her
who
I sent
jumped
you,
out of the
and she'll see you through the shadows safely.
troop carrier in Clone Wars?
Oh, yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like you see him leaping like 20 goddamn feet in the air during like every fight scene in the movies.
Soldier.
Yeah.
Like you can't fall just like
I
a
got
little bit.
something back. When I touched you, I felt like a real person. My heart was racing, but I didn't hurt you. I don't have to be afraid of myself anymore.
Are
I don't
you
have to hold
interested in
back. Not
was
sure
it
the
Star
world's
Wars
ready for
Outlaws
unleashed
coming out in
Karlach,
like
but it's getting
August
it
at all?
anyway.
Does that
Thanks to
We're
catch
not
you.
you?
gonna get it right
Thanks to
away,
you.
but I'm gonna play it
Thanks to
eventually.
fate.
Sure.
That's about what I'm at with it.
I'm worried it's going to be very much a Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, 8 million objectives on the map, but they're all like the same 10 things like
Oh,
repeated.
Everything.
I hate that.
Touch
There's a good
everyone
chance you're
that'll
right.
let me. Shake hands,
It's just
dance
because it's a
waltz, maybe
Ubisoft
even
game.
kiss a face or
Yeah.
two if I find a good
It's got
girl.
me
The
worried about
world's
it.
my
Right.
fun house. Ugh.
I hadn't
Misery
allowed
always
myself to
overstays its
think about
welcome,
that.
and
Oh
joy
yeah, I
leaves too
really haven't
soon.
looked at much of it either. I
Oh,
just
me
am
too,
gonna
soldier.
experience
me
it
too.
raw.
For every knock we take, I
Afternoon
feel like I
Tune
get
is
a little treat.
he asked me if I'd play it if he got a review code for it, and I said yes, so we'll see what
Cool.
happens.
Soldier.
Nice.
You know I'm up for
If
it, but
if it gets
can't
a
ex-
review code, I'll definitely like end up binging
Yeah,
it
that's sweet.
right away. Which that's a thing that we're starting to look into, by the way.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Save some money on some of these games, but do reviews for them. I have to say, I've got two this month for new releases that I think look pretty interesting. If you keep an eye out for when they go on sale or something in the future. There's two I got though here, which one already released on PC about a year ago, which is the System Shock remake.
Oh
So it's
yeah.
already available on PC, but it's coming to Xbox and PlayStation later this month for the
I
first
like
time.
it up where you are.
Oh, I'm on the upper level.
Yeah, I can't find the stairs. Oh,
They
there
are.
they are. Oh, I see them.
And then the other one, which I definitely recommend, and is a much cheaper game for sure, we'll be getting. I believe it'll be only releasing on the PC and the Switch. It's called Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, which I think is a great title. It's probably one of the best video game titles I've heard in a while. But yeah, it's I guess I think it'll only be like $20. It's like a weird indie puzzle, kind of old school puzzle horror game.
Oh.
Really cool, weird kind of retro art style to it. That looks
Yeah, I'm into
very
that.
Can't give up now.
No. Oh, I see what happened now. Distract her. Distract her. Who is that?
The High Priestess of Saluna.
Hell yeah. Oh, my game just struggled for a second. Green reinforcing the shield of light cantrips.
Yeah, it's kind of what it seems like.
I didn't realize I had an audience.
Oh yeah, we were just like, oh yeah, you're so cool, Isabel.
Save us all. I'm
I'm
Isabel.
cool.
Pleased to meet you. Myself and Our Lady are doing what we can to hold the line. I hear you and your tadpole will be our offense, free from the Absolute's influence, yet able to walk among cultists. It's almost too good to be true. But I'd be a poor cleric indeed not to avail of a blessing when I see one. Let me guess. Jaheira's sent you to beg a protection spell off her favorite cleric.
And the only cleric.
Perfect. It'll make you immune to the lesser effects of the Shadow Curse, which will get you closer to the towers. It won't be enough to protect you against the areas of utter darkness, though, where the curse is strongest. This lantern should, though. Ketherick is a frightening man.
Oh.
But you have something he doesn't.
He's spooky.
Allies.
We gotta look out for that, you guys. Okay.
While you're busy in the towers, I'll be sure to...
Gotta look out for it being spooky.
Oh, she's just trying to distract us. She doesn't want to be doing anything while we're in the towers.
Something's wrong? Where? Where's something wrong?
Hello, Isabel.
Marcus, is that you?
Are you in the cutscene?
What's happened to you?
Yeah, I am now.
I've been blessed. You can be too. Come with me, and you can hear all about it from Ketherick himself.
Oh, if you were asking if there were Celestials, there are partial or like humans that have like Celestials that have fucked humans, and they make these kind of like children that are like they're almost like angels, but they seem to be really follow the winged freak.
Now, classically, I would think of that as being a Nephilim, but that's not what they're called here.
Like
They're called, I think, Aasimar.
Aasimar, yeah.
My instructions are clear.
AASIMAR.
Okay, interesting. It wouldn't be a fantasy universe.
No, wait, I wasn't reading.
It doesn't fuck everything.
A haunting face swims into your mind's eye, its instructions vivid in your mind. Nothing is more important than bringing the girl alive.
What's going on? If you have something to say, say it.
Alright, do we let her kidnap the... Yeah, so, like, again, ASMR. Yep. ASMR the angel people.
Pathetic. The Absolute sees all.
It's just like the Christian God doing ASMR.
The Absolute. Of course. You can't believe them, Marcus. Ketherick will never give you whatever it is you've been promised.
He already has.
So a shitload of different kinds of angel too, at least in the old Baldur's Gate games and the Pathfinder games.
And angels are really just as, I mean, they're not treacherous in the same way that the devils are, but
they're all about absolute good and like they're like really
Mole! No. Fuck that. Fucker's gonna die.
Moon Maiden, guide my hand.
That's a big old stick.
Yeah, heal yourself while you're at full health, Jagoff. real smart move.
Right. Oh, I am here. Good.
Won't you help me? Set me free.
Can you imagine being a DM and running this combat by hand?
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of different, like, because like Celestials are as varied in like their form as like any of the gods are in this world. Like there's like they do a good job of really fleshing out some of the higher entities, and there's some compelling campaigns and novels that do kind of cover like, hey, why don't we have these Celestials helping out? And it's like, oh, that's why.
Wasn't there a bunch of Celestials in Princess of the Apocalypse?
Yup.
Am I remembering that right? Yeah.
And there's like a faction of them that are like trying to make the apocalypse happen.
Right. They just want to get to the battle at the end or something like that. I don't remember if it's a battle specifically they wanted, but...
Well, I'm going to exit the voice chat and go into regular chat because I'm going to eat, and you guys don't need to listen to that.
All right. Well, thank you for being in, Sage. We're probably going to be live for about another, what, 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, something like that.
Cool. I got to be here for most of it then.
Yeah, you got to be here for most of it, so well, thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for doing it on a Tuesday.
Glad to be here. The triple stream. This is probably the first day we've had a triple stream in one day, or at least the first time in a while.
Oh yeah, I can't think of it ever happening before. But
That's out.
so you don't
Enjoy
get
the
my
food.
lips.
Get the fuck out.
Boom. Hey. Oh, I forgot. I should be using Shillelagh because I did that wood club. Right? Did I? Yeah. Shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
No, let me try actually reading it. Shillelagh. Shillelagh. Shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
I'd be very curious to learn the grammar rules of and like Gaelic. Maybe I'll do that after finish.
How has learning Finnish been?
I mean, like I'm still on real basic shit, but it feels like I'm actually learning it as long as I continue going. I mean, the key to that is like I've been do a couple a day and then go hard one day a week and do like 10 to 15 of the little lessons in a row to kind of flood my brain with it. I love that Asarian gets 3 attacks. A ring with invisibility and blur. A
Nice,
mind
nice.
flayer specimen. And oh yeah, his fucking grave club. Good thing we just sold, or Astarian would be.
Oh, no name. Have you started Devilman, by the way?
No, it's sitting there and I keep seeing it and just not being, not feeling, subtitles. Whoa, what the fuck just happened? Holy what?
That
I'm
is
sorry, what?
that's what happens when Isabel loses. She's the one channeling the defense. Now everyone in this camp is dead. Like,
So
they've
wait,
all been shadow cursed.
She just went. She just died?
Yep. They killed Isabel, and
Isn't she a companion or no?
no, she was an
Oh, I thought
NPC.
she's supposed to be.
But
Wait,
now she was like the person we were talking to.
yeah.
But now Jahira's able to like survive because she has the blessing of Saloon. But everyone else is dead. So we now have to
Holy
fight
shit.
either like reload or kill everyone in this camp. It is up to you.
Yeah, I would say reload. Having Harpers in this area, even if they're kind of dicks, is helpful. And this whole fight seems very difficult.
What? Just because like we'd be fighting literally everyone?
Every,
Oh no, not the
including
Harpers.
the
Good
animals.
riddance.
The Ox joined into the initiative.
Yeah, even the animals. If it wasn't for the fact that that fight, I mean, if we were a higher level when we went into it, we might have
I'll start
survived.
paying attention and heal her.
Yeah, I guess we could try to keep her alive. Now, I can tell you that it is possible to, like, beat that fight, and it is possible to, like, proceed through the rest of the act without Isabel alive. Or without any of the Harpers. But, it does kind of present a challenge.
Yeah, I believe
The
it.
true soul who's going to save us all. It won't be enough to protect you against. While you're busy.
No, I'm going to join you.
Marcus, is that you?
I've been blessed. You can be too. Come with me, and you can hear all about it from Ketherick himself.
He's a
true soul. My instructions are clear.
What's going on? If you have something to say, the absolute. You can't.
Time.
God, skipping through the, it's fucking...
Alright, so I'll heal,
If you
this is
want to
starting.
keep them from piling on top of her, I can keep Baldust in here next to her until Marcus is dead.
Are you serious? I just completely missed swinging on this dude because I attacked when I was like 3 feet away. Bam!
Got him.
Oh god.
This is that one of, or where that spell Arcane Lock would come in handy.
Yeah.
But then I guess they do just kind of go on a rampage out there killing everyone. Did you know artificial vanilla comes from beaver ass? So does raspberry. Or no, sorry. Was that platypus?
Yeah, there's a bunch of shit like that of like food shit you don't want to know. these Harpers just bashing.
I didn't know vanilla was a vine. But apparently it does grow on a vine that crawls, like, over rocks and shit.
Yeah.
Which, knowing how it had to be harvested before, which is people, like, on sheer rock faces harvesting vanilla, I can understand why it was so expensive.
Yeah, totally.
Which is also kind of fucking wild that we live in a time where we have access to all of these spices, and
holy shit, dude,
nobody
got
realizes it. Oh.
Yeah, thank you, Astarian. Wait, what the fuck just happened? Are you coming up on him?
I could step up on him.
Because then I can get, sneak attack. Thank you. Oh, fucking A, Astarian. Oh. Do one of those. Oh, I forgot about that ability already. Whoops, didn't mean to do that exactly.
Is vanilla worth it? People went to great lengths for vanilla. Would either you say raspberry can be a spice? No, but like there is a reason raspberries did get propagated to basically every environment that could tolerate them. Berries in general that never used to be as widespread as they are, but we've cultivated them into being these monsters that are able to survive on like fucking any continent. Whereas we did the opposite of that to bananas to try to get them to survive, or like be edible.
Bye, Ceres.
Ooh. Whoops.
What?
She gets replaced by another There is a backup NPC for Ceres if she dies.
Oh, is she like quest giver and stuff?
Yeah, she gave us the what was it? The quest to like is it? Oh, to save the people, the tieflings.
Moonrise Tower. Oh, do you have disadvantage throwing from that range? Or with someone in that in
I do, but it's still a 90% chance. Oh my god, it keeps hitting the fucking wardrobe. All of my attacks hit
Brutal.
a wardrobe. And I didn't realize it until the third one.
I think one of them hit the dude. What happens if you bless the winged horrors? Oh, wait, what?
Oh, we didn't kill him this time. So now he's taking our body back to good old Ketheric Thorm, and we get a nice cutscene to accompany it.
Oh, fuck. Do we reload?
Oh, yeah.
After the cutscene?
Coca-Cola is the new version that's spiced with raspberry. What?
Sorry, what?
Isabel! No! What in the nine hells happened? God spare us. Ketheric was planning our demise all along.
Listen closely, for there's very little time. Even if last light falls, your mission does not change. You must find Ketheric Thorm.
And you must kill him. As impossible as that task sounds, there must be a way to break the spell that makes him invincible. There are secrets in this ancient waste hidden from... But hark. Something stirs.
Wow, this cutscene is like really fleshed out.
Right? I guess makes sense for like a big moment of failure. Oh shit.
Well, raspberry's not a spice.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
It's happening. They'll all be taken by the shadows. Only by the grace of Isabel's spell will we be spared the same fate. We cannot hesitate. Not even for those we knew. Those we cared for. They're no longer
I don't care
who
for
they
any,
were.
I don't know any of
Steel
these
your
people.
hearts.
Who are you talking to?
Steal your hearts. Yeah, I'm right behind you, Jaheira.
No one is saying we tried to talk it out with the evil zombies.
Whatever you say, crazy wood elf. She's like 300 years old, so I can understand if she's starting to get a little... Coca-Cola refuses to elaborate.
Are people asking for clarification? Before you talk to her, let me catch up with you this time so I
Oh, yeah.
can... There we go. Now I'll be able to... There we go.
At least things have stayed interesting.
The true soul who's... It won't be enough to protect you while you're busy. Marcus!
I've been blessed. You, a true soul.
What's going on? You...
Time.
Wild chaos. Oh, very different. We just got him like cornered in this little doorway right now.
So even though he's serving an undead guy, he's an aberration. That doesn't seem very fair.
Interesting. Is that because of the wings? Oh. Can you pick it up?
Yep.
Oh, but now I can't, or Sarian can't attack him, right? I'll go on this.
Well, I guess he broke my concentration pretty quick on that.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, not Harper, Teebs.
Teebs. Sarian, what kind of oils you got?
Yeah, what kind of snake oil you got, Astarion? She's not... oh, she was 150 years before this, and Jaheira is like 30 in that. Oh, so Baldur's Gate 2 is 100 years before. If she's 150 years before, so then she's like 180. Okay. Which isn't as bad, but she also refers to herself as like an old lady in this one. So, like, I wonder... I know elves can live up to like 800 years old. when do elves become geriatric?
Right.
Ooh.
Starian. Check you out.
I wonder how strong he can even be without his
And
weapon.
he's off balance. It seems to have reduced his AC. I'm hitting him a lot easier anyway.
Jimmy on the go. My little trick.
You'll make excellent fertilizer.
Good job.
Okay, I'll heal her on
She's a
this.
half elf. Everyone in the Old Testament is elves.
Oh shit, oh shit.
I wouldn't be shocked if that's one of the ideas, like, for where elves came from. Or, like, where, like, the idea of elves come from, because the Bible does not really elaborate, except for the fact that, like, before God flooded the earth or something, like, you would think the rainbow in the sky after killing everyone would be, like, not the thing focused
what
on, and
just
the fact that
happened?
God in the Old Testament stripped a humanity of their longevity.
I'm incapacitated?
Oh, you got paralyzed by
Shit. I was
winged
trying
horror.
to heal Isabella. Or Isabel. But I don't think I succeeded at all.
General Ketterick wants her alive. At any cost.
It's funny that he keeps saying that and they keep killing her. Brutal.
Well,
Come on, Teebs.
on one hand, I'm like, attacks of opportunity. Like, enemies are kind of stupid when they turn and run away and trying to, like, because they're just like, they should know that they're gonna die. But at the same time, I would run if I was about to die from somebody that was gonna kill me. Also, maybe elves are sexual undesirables from another planet. I mean, so true, bestie. I mean, it honestly, we just couldn't know. There's no way to know. It's like the Hitchhiker's Guide, saying that humans on Earth are just the undesirables from another planet, the hairdressers, the fast food workers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
That book does a great job of shitting on basically every service industry worker, and saying that our species is the byproduct of the worst of another species or
Yeah.
society.
I forgot about that. That's great.
Yeah, it's I at first when I was a lot younger, I was like, oh, that's fucking hilarious, and then I became somebody who worked in the service industry, and I was just like, oh, you could tell by
Yeah.
this was written by somebody who hasn't had to work a physical job.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know what happens without hairdressers? Everyone bitches about their hair.
Yeah.
In position.
What, you know, what do you expect from a British writer?
Yeah, they did have Theresa May around the time it was written. Or not Theresa May. God, what was the
Margaret Thatcher?
Thatcher, yep. They had Thatcher.
Yeah, yeah.
Bigfoot is a sexual undesirable from another planet. Bigfoot couldn't go to a hairdresser. It's why no one would fuck him. That's why he's sexually undesirable.
Can't control, incapacitated still. Shit.
So many people are going to be dashing for this turn.
Right?
Okay, Roland, that was stupid as shit. Especially if he was going to cast something that he could... You silly fucking goose.
It did work for him.
It did. At the cost of half his health.
Yeah. Where's Maul this whole time?
Other than his gaping wound, it actually turned out quite alright.
There's an illicit parasite in that corpse. You should take a look.
Well, it is cool that we got to see the fail scenario in addition to,
Are you all right? I'm fine.
Succeeding? Yeah, I hear Maul. I hear Maul somewhere. Where is she?
Marcus has been with us since the start. They've been tracking us this whole
Yeah,
time.
I heard her too, but she got carried off at the beginning of the
She's
fight.
on the roof.
She's on the roof.
They know how important
She's on
you
the
are,
roof.
but they don't know about you. Ketheric will strike again.
I'm
We
jumping
need
up.
you to strike first. Discover the source of his invulnerability. Make him mortal so we can make him bleed.
She's not on the roof?
Good luck.
I just heard her.
We're in more danger than I knew.
Someone get me down.
If something happens to you, everyone in this inn is dead. Like that.
Well, now I actually believe her.
Innkeeper's Heat. Wait, oh, did you find her?
Like him do anything?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Power, spite. Some
Isabel and
think
Jaheira
twisted
started talking to me when the
personality.
combat ended.
I
Got
can
it.
understand why he'd want me dead. Without me
Well, I
keeping the
found
curse at bay,
Innkeeper's
everyone in
Key
this
up
inn,
here on the
everyone
roof.
intent on killing him is dead too. As for why he'd want to take me alive, I don't know. And I don't want to find out. Now that we have you, I hope I won't have to. No mercy. For Ketheric will have none on you. End this.
Maybe we should ask someone else.
Alright, this guy can be talked to, so I'm gonna disguise myself as Jaheira. Close enough. I'm knockoff Jaheira.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Did you leave anything valuable behind?
Outside the inn, buried near graveyard, she found out the general absolutes chosen.
Except for that one senator writing Bigfoot porn, I think that guy was definitely fucking Bigfoot.
Trusted me. Orders of the
Do we need to ask how to get to Moonrise Towers?
cross cursed lands.
Oh, I guess we knew that. That's not helpful information,
The spell's
asshole.
power wanes. You can ask no more.
Well, and the general's chosen, I'm guessing, is Ketheric Thorm, because his
Yes,
name has
yeah.
been dropped a few times. Did you want the invisibility blur ring for...
Astarion could use that, yeah.
Yeah, I hear her too.
But
Won't you help me? Set me free.
yeah.
Yeah, because she did a great job protecting Mole.
Maybe we should ask someone else.
Mole would do the same for
Yeah,
any
talk
of
to the
us.
kids.
You know it. But how do we get into Moonrise?
Who the hell are you?
We can't fight those shadow things.
I'm knockoff. I'm bargain
I
basement
beat up those
discount
harpies,
Jahira.
and they're way scarier than shadows.
You know what Mole would hate more than anything?
Bigfoot was a Russian mail order
things
bride
happening
from
to
another
us.
world.
You've seen what's out there.
Isekade.
Stand a chance.
But it's our job to bring Mole back.
Look at her. She's a proper adventurer. And if we got hurt, Mole would be really mad at us.
Fine. But you gotta understand, Mole is family. Bring her back, please. Won't you help me? Set me free.
We weren't
Oh.
even have to go out into the shadows to
I
die.
figured
now
I
the compass
searched
had
and
found us.
saw what the "Will you help me set me free" is from.
Where can I go?
What?
It's coming from you.
Oh. Yeah, that is. The text is appearing above my head.
Uh-huh.
Weird.
Do you have a lantern?
Traitors among us. A child taken.
I think she gave me the moon lantern.
Yeah, it's that
If they had
one.
taken Isabel too. I thought I was prepared for treachery. But an all-out assault. I blundered into their trap like a fool. You have the honor of making up for my mistake.
Oh, cool. Why
I trust
wouldn't we?
that you will.
What's on your mind?
Oh, we should show her ass.
That we should.
Except for Karlak, who's fine. Me, oh my, oh my, oh me.
Huh.
Yeah, is there some other
Maybe-
kind of
I got an
interlinking
ability
right-click
called
it?
Inspect Moon Lantern.
Oh, yeah.
The lantern gives off a chilly glow, protecting all in its vicinity from the surrounding shadows. You notice a tiny pixie trapped within. These fey creatures are infamous for their trickery. Sometimes playful, sometimes malicious.
Oh, please. Oh, golly, me, oh, my.
Oh, it
You
was
must
Dolly
really
Dolly
feel I'll
Dolly.
die. This lantern only lights the way when I am hurting night and day. My pixie dust is bright as day. My injuries can light the way.
I know the feeling. We've got to set her
Oh.
free.
I dare not name it, newfound friend. The faintest touch could spell my end.
Mash the lantern on the ground.
Right.
Release the pixie. Return the mechanism.
To hurt her.
Fairy lives don't matter today.
Oh, no.
That wasn't what I was expecting to hear in chat today, but it's what I heard. God, Astarion disapproves of everything.
Been trapped in that coffin with no one but a mad rider and my own farts for company. Did me a good turn there, didn't you? What do I owe you?
Ooh.
Butter wouldn't melt. Well, look. I won't have you tracking me down in the Fae looking for tuppence. Let's finish this fair and square. Here, give this bell a shake. Speak the magic words and you'll get what you've earned. Protection from the shadow curse. What more could a dingus want? You're welcome.
You won't know who to be pissed at later.
Curious little thing.
Oh,
Wings. Big mean mouth.
well, now I don't have to have a lantern equipped, so yeah.
Cool.
Alright, I think that brings us to 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Who are
seems
we
like a good
rating
point to cut
tonight?
it.
Shadow Fallen and I Can't Give Up.
The next week's title or this week's title?
Oh, that's what I named this save. That is going to be next
yeah.
week's title though. This week's title was To Act Too Furious. Appropriate because we started Act 2. Gotta wonder how many fairies are into that. You think anyone just sticks a whole fairy up their ass? It's yeah, I guess if people do that with hamsters, they do that with fairies. And on that note, let's see, we got do we have anybody? Chris J. Herman? Well, rating Chris J. Herman, it is. All right, everybody. As always, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning into the bod. If you're tuning in now, oh hey, Afternoon Tune. We're actually just signing off.
Just wrapping up.
But thank you for stopping by. We're doing good. Hope you're doing well. And that you've had a fun day full of rated M for immaturity, because this was our third show in a day. That was neat. But as always, I've been Tim.
No name.
And together we were co-host Takeover. Now, get the fuck out of here. Show Chris J. Herman some love. Give him a subscribe if you're privy to that kind of thing. And then have a good night. Or else.